All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. They work in your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network. Today we got Sunday morning pregame. We got a lot to talk about, but first, mess around. How can they get a free T-shirt?
They can get a free T-shirt by commenting on any of our shows, and if you comment enough, you get to be the viewer in a month, then you'll win a free T-shirt.
And what happens if they're nervous to comment, or they think their comment's stupid, or how else can they get a T-shirt?
Well, like you said, if they don't want to comment because they're feeling their comments dumb or they're just too shy to do it, they can always get a hold of someone from the network and pay $14.95 shipping and handling, and that'll get you a T-shirt.
All right, cool. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to break down the late games. We're gonna break down what happened yesterday in the NFL because we had two games on Saturday. So the first game I want to talk about here is the Bills and the Broncos. I'll just let you go ahead, then I'll go.
So this game.
Hey,
I'm gonna try to use the phone again. So for some reason,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, as long as I'm in, I'll moderate. I don't care. I'm just. For some reason, my computer laptop ain't letting StreamYard log in. So,
okay. We're starting off with yesterday's game. We're talking about the Bills and the Broncos first.
Hey, hold on. I might be able to get on. But yeah, keep going. I'll see if this works.
Okay, so starting off, this game went the way we all thought it was going to go. The Broncos got rolled over. Josh Allen did his thing. Stephon Diggs put up big numbers. And Josh Allen having a big game. Dan Diggs having a big game. Really killed me in fantasy. The dude I was playing with got 100 points between those two guys alone. So I'm pretty much done. But yeah, I went the way I thought it was going to go. Buffalo just killed him. Go ahead, Landon.
So yeah, we all expected this yesterday. We said the Bills will absolutely blow out the Broncos, but not by this much. I didn't see it going by this much. Yeah, Josh Allen had a big game. In my opinion, it kind of puts him back into that MVP conversation a little bit. And Stephon Diggs also had a big game. Listen, that man does not have to score any touchdowns to have a big game. He had 11 receptions for 147 yards. I mean, that's plenty. That does everything. He catches most everything they get. And Melvin Gordon had another big game. He's kind of not been talked about this year, but he had 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, we all expected this to happen. Josh Allen kind of back in that MVP conversation for me, but it was a good game to watch if you don't like either team, but if you're a Broncos fan, then I would have turned it off first quarter.
Right.
Yeah, sorry I'm late, guys, but the Bills game. Yeah, we knew it was going to happen this way. So, all right, was that the first topic we covered, or did I miss any more?
That's the first thing we caught.
All right, cool. All right. So, with that being said, the other game was Carolina and the Packers. Landon, what do you got on that one?
So we did not see. I mean, obviously the Packers won, right? We all predicted that, but it was kind of close. And I should have known this was coming. The Panthers can hold close with these good teams. They held close with the Chiefs. And I mean, nobody really had a standout game now that I'm looking. DJ Moore had 131 yards, but, Aaron Rodgers had a rough game this week. He only had 1 touchdown. And that's another thing with the MVP conversation. We'll talk about that later, but that might have maybe dropped him down a spot. Or, I mean, we'll see what happens today, but Aaron Jones had a big game. I said that yesterday. He had 147 yards. So this game really surprised me. When I was watching, I was like, when is Green Bay going to have their, moment like they always do where they kind of jump up and take a big lead or, something like that. But the Panthers stuck with them. They held them at 21 points for like a quarter and a half, I'm pretty sure. Something like that. Like a pretty long time. And if that offense just didn't execute, that offense just didn't execute. And if they would have, then I think they might have had a chance to win this game.
How about you, mess around? I know you love talking Packers.
Yeah, for me, it was like Landon said, it was a lot closer than I expected it to be. And I forgot that, like Landon also said, that they've been in a lot of games this year, and their defense plays pretty well and keeps them in. And I was just waiting for Green Bay to turn it on, and they never did. And I really needed Rodgers to step up and give me a lot of points, but he did not. He had a dud yesterday. So it kind of opened the door for the race, which, yeah, we'll talk about later.
Like you guys said, I mean, being that it was a close game, it was kind of shocking. It just shows how much that, Panthers are missing their stud running back there, McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything else to add on for yesterday's games, guys, or ready to move on to today's late games?
I'm ready to move on.
So yeah, you were talking about how they held the Packers to 21 points for a while. The Packers only scored 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, so, you see? That's pretty crazy. If that offense can – Christian McCaffrey's hurt. If they had Christian McCaffrey, I think that game would have been won by the Panthers.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Rodgers isn't that bad, man. You know how that is. So, all right. So, moving on to today's games. We'll start with the 0-13 Jets versus the 9-4 Rams. Mess around. Break it down a little bit.
Jets are still looking for that first win. I don't, at this point, know that they want to win. Just keep that number 1 draft pick going. I'm sure everybody on the team wants to win, but the owners and GM were probably hoping they lose just to get that pick. But having said that, I don't think this game's going to be close. I think the Rams are going to blow them out. I think they win by at least 20, 38-17.
Okay, Landon, how about you?
So this game's going to go one of two ways. Number one, that Rams defense is going to play good. Jared Goff's going to play good, and they'll go out to blow them out. Number two, Jared Goff those 4 interceptions and 1 touchdown like he can do sometimes, and the Jets might win in a low-scoring game. I don't see that happening, though. I see that defense completely overpowering that weak offense, and I got the Rams on this one. I'm going to go 28-3.
All right. I got to call timeout here. Nate, what are you drinking this morning? 45-7.
Hey, didn't the Seahawks beat them 40-3? And people are saying the Rams are better than the Seahawks?
Yeah, it could happen. But, Landon, I think you're right. I think if it goes 2 ways and it's both on the Rams side, if the defense shows up, Jets have no chance. If Goff doesn't show up and does his, 3 to 4 interceptions and a touchdown, right, Jets have a chance of winning. So this could possibly be the Jets' first win. But if I was a bookie or a betting man, I'm going Rams. So I got that. All right. So next on the agenda, Philadelphia Eagles 4-8-1 versus the Cardinals 7-6. Landon, what you got?
I think this is going to be a really, really good game, but with Jalen Hurts there in the backfield, under center for the Eagles, and Kyler Murray playing super inconsistent, and the Eagles got that good front four, so they'll try to pressure Kyler Murray as much as possible. And we've seen whenever they played the Seahawks a few weeks back, whenever he has pressure, he panics and he throws stupid throws. So I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. I'm going to take the Eagles in a close one. I'm going to go Eagles here 24-21.
Okay, mess around.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to be a good game. It depends on whatever Kyler Murray shows up. That offense is Jekyll and Hyde week in, week out. You never know what you're going to get. With all the guys they have, like the Hopkins and Fitzgerald, and the list goes on and on. They have the weapons, but they struggle to put up points a lot of the time. And Jalen Hurts, he looked good last week. He had a good, decent first game. I think Jalen Hurts with his feet is going to hurt the Cardinal defense, and I got Philly winning this game 21-17.
Okay, yeah, I think this one's gonna be a close one. Yeah, Hurts. Hate to use a wrestling reference, put some hurt business on the Saints last week. So I got the Eagles going 2-0 with Hurts. We'll talk a little bit more about that because there's some news I saw when I woke up this morning. But also I want to say good morning to Madison. Happy Sunday to you too. Thank you for joining. Next, we got actually, I'll pass on the next game I was going to talk about because that might be the game of the week. We'll go Browns 9-4 versus the Giants 5-8. Landon, what do you got?
So I brought this up a few weeks ago. The Giants, beat the Seahawks, but the Seahawks were only 5 yards shy of their average rushing game. And the Browns, that's what they do, as we know. So I think Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt will run all over them. One of them will probably have a career day, and the Browns will destroy the Giants today. I'm gonna go 38-14.
All right, getting on the bad side of Freddie there. I see on that one.
Hey,
so back around. What do you got?
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to win this game. Too much of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. They're going to run all over Giants today. Baker Mayfield, I think, has a decent day. Throws for a couple touchdowns. And the only reason I'm taking the Browns is because I don't trust Daniel Jones. They really don't have a lot going on offense, and they struggle to put up points. So I think the Browns are going to win this one easily, 28-10.
Are we sure Colt McCoy's not starting? I think I saw something about that.
Yeah, Landon, if you could look that up quick. I kind of thought I heard the same. Oh, Nate's reporting that Colt starting.
Yeah, I saw something about Colt McCoy starting.
Okay. So
Colt McCoy, Daniel Jones, the quarterback.
It doesn't matter,
it doesn't matter. So thank you, Nate, for that. Yeah, I'm going Browns. I mean, that running game is just so dominant right now. But again, I mean, the Giants, had some big pieces out too. So I mean, they got their running back been out all year. So I mean, they could be a different story if they didn't have those injuries. So we'll move to the Monday night game, and then we'll come back to the other game. Steelers 11-2 versus the Bengals 2-10-1. Landon, what you got?
I think we know who's going to win this game. Ryan Finley starting for them. Brandon Allen isn't. And that Steelers defense is just going to stop their third string quarterback, and that's all I really got. They're gonna beat them. I'm going to say 24-10.
Yep. Okay, mess around. How about you?
Normally, I'd say division game is going to be close, but without a quarterback, with Finley starting, I'm not going there. It's going to be a blowout game. Steelers are going to win this one 31-7.
Yeah, I think Steelers are kind of had a down couple weeks, so I think they're looking to rebound. So I think if I remember right, Madison, a loyal viewer, she's a Steelers fan, so I think she'll be happy we all three are going with Pittsburgh. So
listen, after we do the next game, I got news.
What's that?
After we do this next game, I got news. I just got a notification. It's a pretty big one.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so now the game of the week, I think, 12-1 Kansas City versus 10-3 New Orleans Saints. That's around. What you got?
This should be a good game. If Drew Brees was playing, I'd say it'd be an even better game. But Taysom Hill, I just don't trust that guy. I don't think he's the guy. I'd rather them start Wentz, and I think he's a better passer than Hill. But Hill brings that dynamic where he can take off and run at any point. Kansas City just has too much on offense. I know they've kept a lot of games close the last 6-7 games, winning by 6 points or less. So I think it's going to be close, though. 28-24 Chiefs. Oh, Drew Brees is starting?
Yeah, he is starting.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought they were going to give him another week, the last I heard. So, yeah. Brees, I think, is going to be rusty in this game. But I still think it's going to be close. 28-24 Chiefs.
All right, how about you, Landon? What you got?
So I understand the Saints' position of starting Drew Brees. They know they cannot drop another game. They want that bye. But I think it's way too early, right? I mean, he broke, 2 ribs or something like that? And he's been out for 5 weeks. And you're going to just put him back in the starting lineup? I don't think he's going to do much because he's hurt. He's rusty, like Mr. Hunt said. And I think the Chiefs are going to win by at least 14 points. I don't see it even being that close. Yeah, 11. So.
Yeah, if he takes one big hit, he might be out again for a while.
Right.
I agree with you. I think it's too soon to rush him back. They should just give him a week, maybe just wait till the playoffs to bring him back.
Exactly, because they already clinched the wild card, right?
Yeah.
So I don't. That's so stupid.
What do you got, Brandon? Who are you going with?
I think he's lagging.
Yeah, I think so too. So we'll move on to.
We'll move on to the playoff picture.
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and say your 7 teams for the AFC?
Yeah, I could do that. We'll go Kansas City. I think is gonna get the home field advantage. They'll get the bye. Pittsburgh will be number 2, and Buffalo will be number 3. Let's see who else is in it.
You've got the Titans, Browns, Colts, Dolphins,
Okay.
Ravens, Raiders.
So I'm gonna say that the Dolphins make it. The Colts are gonna make it. What's that? 5?
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Okay, Tennessee. So you got one more spot.
Okay, so and I think the Browns are definitely going to be there too. So those are mine.
All right. So I'll go ahead and do mine. Then Brandon, you can do your AFC.
Okay.
Playoff.
That's where we're at. Okay.
Number 1, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I think they're the best team in the league. Steelers, Bills, and then I'm gonna have to go Browns, Titans, Colts, Dolphins.
Well, you got okay. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, I was losing there for a second. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think. I mean, Kansas City, Steelers, Bills, we know are in. So, with that being said, I think Colts and Titans are definitely in. I don't know which one's going to win that division, but it's going to be tough. Yeah, I got to go Browns. And then, oh, man. God, none of the last 3 teams.
That 7
Yeah,
spot.
that 7 spot's tough. Yeah, I got to go with the Dolphins. I think they've been playing good. They're going to finish strong. I think they're going to be in by the skin of their teeth, I think. So, but, yeah, Landon, did you break that news or did I miss it?
Oh,
or?
no, I forgot about it. So,
yeah.
Carson Wentz just requested a trade not too long ago. He requested a trade if Jalen Hurts is going to be a starter. I think we saw it coming. So, with that being said, do you guys think he's going to go anywhere? Do you think he will get traded?
Well, that was one of the news I was going to break later. So, but yeah, Messeron, let's start with you. I know you have a little quarterback issues over there. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in Chicago. Maybe they swap Foles for Wentz. You know, Philly seems to love Foles for what he did there. But honestly, I could see him going anywhere like the Colts, maybe Rivers retires. New England needs a quarterback. Cam's obviously not the answer there. The Niners getting up there, Garoppolo, they're thinking about maybe releasing him after the year. So there's a number of places he could go. I also read that he does not want to be a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's why he requested the trade.
Yeah.
It's not the organization or anything. It's just the fact that he does not want to be a backup. So, what do you think they can get for him?
Well, with his contract so enormous, I don't think they get any more than a third or a fourth for him because of his contract, unless they eat a lot of that money.
See, I'm saying like a fifth or a sixth. I wouldn't give up a third-round pick for Carson Wentz.
Right.
And I mean, Landon, you're probably more accurate, but I think Philly's going to want a little bit more. I mean, like Messerow said, a third, maybe a second if they eat some of that contract, or renegotiate it. I mean, I don't, renegotiate, but yeah, there's a lot of teams out there that could use a guy like Wentz if they got some pieces around him. Yeah. When I saw that story, the first team that popped in my head was New England. I can see Belichick trying to make some kind of move to get him over there. So that's where I was going to go with that later. So, but yeah, I say New England. Of course, I'd like to see them in the purple and gold and get rid of Cousins. But again, money's too tight right now for the Vikings. So,
all right, let's go ahead and do our. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
I'll start. No problem. So we got the Packers and Saints. We know are in. The Rams are close, so I believe they're going to win that division. Somebody from the NFC East is going to go in. Right now it's Washington, and I think, I think they're going to win that division. And then you got Seattle, probably in. I can't see them dropping out. 6 and 7, and then the Vikings and Bears all. It could go either way. I think the Bucs are in with their win last week against Minnesota. I think that kind of sealed them up. I think today's game against Bears and Vikings are going to be the deciding factor who will be the last one standing. And then you got the Cardinals. Between those three teams, I think the winner of the Viking Bears game is going to get that 7th seed. I'll say it right now. So that's right. What do you got?
Okay, so number one seed is obviously Green Bay. I think they're going to lock it up. I think Saints are going to lose today, and that's going to lock up number one seed for Green Bay. Number 2, New Orleans. Let's see. And then I think the Rams are going to get 3rd seed. And then I think the Washington football team wins the East. And the Bucs are obviously going to be in. Seattle's going to make it. And that last spot, like you said, is going to come down to those Chicago, Minnesota, and Arizona. And I think I'm going to say the Cardinals win out and they get in.
Yeah, I can see it. Landon, how about you? What do you got?
I'm going to go with the Packers at 1, Saints at 2, obviously. Number 3, I'm going to go with the Seahawks over the Rams. Number 4, I'm going to go Washington. Number 5, I'm going to go with the Rams. 6, Buccaneers. And then 7, I think the Cardinals will lose to the Eagles this week. The Vikings will beat the Bears. Vikings will move into that 7th spot. That's what I got.
All right.
Actually, I got to change that. I said the Cardinals would win. I actually think the Eagles will beat them earlier, so I can't say that. So I think the winner of the Bears and the Vikings is going to get that last spot.
Yeah, I know the Vikings will have a semi-short week because they got to play the Saints on Christmas. So, but yeah, I'm again the last seed is up in the air on both sides of the ball. So since we already covered the Wentz, that was going to be my next topic. Hey Tim, how you doing? I know you're over the border or overseas in Italy, I believe. So thank you for joining us today. Okay, so what else you guys got today? I mean,
You guys want to talk
kind of
about the
early.
MVP?
Okay, yeah, we did kind of touch on it yesterday, but we did not include quarterbacks. So today, Landon, you start your top or MVP.
If you would have asked me yesterday, it would have been Aaron Rodgers. But today, I'm going to have to go with Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to come out today and have a big game. And Aaron Rodgers did not have a big game, as we talked about earlier. And I think that kind of moved him down a spot. Patrick Mahomes up there. And I think Patrick Mahomes will go on to win it.
Okay, that's right. How about you, bud?
Yeah, I agree with that. With the game that Rodgers had yesterday, he definitely opened the door. It's like wide open for Mahomes to overtake him now, especially if he has a big game today. Rodgers really needed to have a good game yesterday, and he did not. I think he only had one passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. I remember right. So
Yep.
if Mahomes gets like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns today, he's definitely going to overtake him.
Yeah, I mean, going in, I was kind of, 1-2, kind of a tie. Rodgers to me, lost a few votes, I think, and I think Mahomes is now number 1. I mean, granted, today could change. Mahomes could have a 1 touchdown game, 3 picks, and then we're talking, okay, we're back to Rodgers, Mahomes again at kind of a tie. Could you guys see co-MVPs today or this year? I mean, could you see co-MVPs? So, Landon, go ahead.
If I see co-MVPs, I think it'll be Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen just because of this past week.
Oh,
Josh Allen played good. Aaron Rodgers played bad, moves him back again. And, let's just say Patrick Mahomes has a bad game this week. I think Josh Allen moves right to the front.
Ooh.
I think this week is going to be a big week because Aaron Rodgers had a bad week, and that opens the door.
Okay.
I mean, we all agree he was number 1 last week, right? I mean, we can all agree on that.
Right.
So,
yeah, I won't argue it.
I think that the door's open, and Patrick Mahomes moved up there now, right? And Josh Allen's second or third. I think they're, him and Aaron Rodgers is going to be tight.
Okay, that's around. Agree, disagree? You got something different?
I could see co-MVPs. But a lot of that depends, because Green Bay could have the number 1 seed locked down by the last game of the season. He might not play at all in that game. So, in Kansas City, possibly still fighting for that spot. So, Mahomes might have that extra game ahead to put up the numbers. And it could come down to Josh Allen and Mahomes as far as MVP.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't even really thinking Allen. I thought it was a 2-headed race, but I mean, Landon, you made definitely great points on Allen. So, yeah, I mean, if Mahomes drops the ball today, yeah, it could be a 3-headed race, and Allen could be a slight lead going into the last few weeks. So.
Yeah, I think if Patrick Mahomes throws less than 2 touchdowns today than Josh Allen, might be the leading man.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So, what other news we got? Anything popping up? I saw that. I think it's Fitzgerald from Northwestern's. A lot of teams are looking at for head coaching. I saw that news. Messer, what do you think? I know you and some other Bears fans want Nagy out. What do you think? Would Fitzgerald fit in there?
Well, I've read that Fitzgerald wants to coach, but the only job that he wants in the NFL is the Chicago job, and that's the only one he's willing to take at this time. But if the Bears somehow find a way to sneak in the playoffs, I don't think they get rid of Nagy. I think they give him another year. If they don't make it, I think it's going to be close if they keep him or not, because he's had some success there. I know he hasn't had a losing season yet, so I think they give Nagy another year.
Okay, Landon, what do you think?
I agree 100%. Give him another year. He's not done terrible. He's had a Bears team who, sorry to mess around, but they're terrible. I mean, if you look, their names, their quarterback problems, and he's done the best he can. And yeah, I think that he deserves another year there for sure.
Yeah, I hope he gets the job because that's or a job. Because just like being in college, the next step is the pros, and that's where you want to be. You want to test your skills against the best of the best. So I think he'll get in. I know there's a few jobs opening. Still, I don't know what the Jets are thinking of not firing Gase right away. So that still mind-boggling me. So, but yeah, I that's around. Your team. So yeah, if the Bears get in, you got to give him a short leash. So. But speaking of coaches, and nothing that I read, but kind of just a thought I had. Pittsburgh, Tomlin. You started 11-0, you kind of fell off a little bit. If they have a first round exit, could he have a short leash next year? Could he be on the hot seat? Messer, what do you think?
I don't think so. For all that Tomlin's done with that team, they've lost some players over the years, and they always find a way to get guys that are just as good, if not better, than the players they lost. It's really good in the scouting department. They draft well. He's won a Super Bowl with them. I don't think he's had a losing season since he's been there. And I think if I remember right, Pittsburgh's only had 3 coaches in their history of their team: Chuck Noll, Howard, and Tomlin. So they don't usually change coaches, but I think he stays another couple of years.
All right, Landon, what do you got, bud?
I think he's perfect there. I don't think they need to make any changes. They're good this year. They've clinched the playoff spot, and if they are a first-round exit, then I think it just shows they need to grow more places, like the receiving position. They need to. And I've been saying this for as long as I've been on this network that they have got to fix the running game. It's the first thing you got to deal with. Those receivers are going to grow and grow. They're young, so I think once that running game gets fixed, this team could be like a Super Bowl threat.
Yeah, I was just throwing it out there. I mean, like I said, I never read anything, but I know that some teams are like got to the playoffs, okay, but we did this, we're gone. And like Messerell said, Pittsburgh's only had like 3 coaches. I mean, in their whole existence. So I mean, that is loyalty. I mean, if anybody talks about loyalty, the Steelers definitely have it with at least their coaches. Anything else? I mean, we're a half hour in. What do we got? What's on your guys' mind for today's games, or anything you guys want to throw out there?
Fantasy football is the last week for round 1, so we could talk about that if y'all want to.
Yeah. Well, how did you guys do last week? And what do we got for fantasy this week?
I mean, I had Stephon Diggs, and he put up 25 for me. My kicker put up 12. I had Tyler Bass. The only guy I'm really worried – I mean, he had Josh Jacobs, who Thursday night he put up 20. I'm honestly just worried about – you know what? I'm not even worried about anybody on this guy's team. I think I'm fine. I got Patrick Mahomes and Derrick Henry. So I think I'm going to go on to win this and more than likely the league for sure. But a guy to watch in fantasy is Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb. Watch those 2. They'll blow up, and start them if you have them.
Okay, Messer, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm getting killed in my my fantasy league. I'm losing by 100 points.
Oh.
I got Montgomery, Evans, Cup, Ebron, Miami's defense, and Santos left to play. And the other guys only got 3 guys left, so I'm pretty much done. My fantasy season's over.
Yeah, for me, like I said the other day, it was fantasy, when it comes to this time, always kills me. So we'll see what happens. I'm in playoffs, a couple of my leagues, and have a chance to move on. So, we'll go from there. It sounds like it's going to be a short, sweet show.
I got something.
Christmas.
If you want to talk,
Yeah,
you want to talk
yeah.
about Zach
Go ahead,
Taylor?
Rainer.
Do you think he should be fired? Zach Taylor, Bengals?
That's right. What do you think? You know,
Yes, I do think he should be fired. He hasn't done much since he's been there. The Bengals, they need to get somebody that knows how to run an offense and call offensive plays. And I know he came from the Rams coaching tree there, right? So I think they need to get someone with more experience, to run the show.
yeah, I'm with, and I know Coach Cam, another lovely family member of ours at the ASAP. He wants Taylor out, and he could probably go on a rant all day long on reasons why. So, sorry that Burrows went down. It still sounds like he's the answer there, but yeah, you need a different guy calling plays there. So,
I think he should be fired, but I also part of me thinks they don't have an offensive line. So if they get an offensive line, will they be better with Zach Taylor? But I think only time will tell, and they don't have that time. They need to start winning. So
yep. Everything's what have you done for me lately? So so
you can say you can do all this in the future, but how you've had 2 bad performances. So
yeah, exactly. All right. So let's kind of put our GM caps on for a second with our teams that we all follow. Christmas right around the corner. In the offseason, let's say Christmas was in the offseason. Landon, what would you like the Seattle Seahawks to do in the offseason to improve their team?
get better corners. That's the main thing. The defense is terrible. But another thing on the offensive side of the ball might surprise people. I want to get rid of Chris Carson. I've been saying this for 2 years now. He's injury prone. He gets hurt all the time, and it's always in spots we need him. So if we can get rid of him and we can bring in somebody free agent, or he can be involved in a trade, we can just get him out of there, get somebody new in, try to run, preferably a power back, and run like Marshawn Lynch did. You know what I mean? And we can be successful. But get rid of Chris Carson and get new corners. And people aren't going to agree with the Chris Carson statement, but I mean, if you look at it, he gets hurt every single year. This year he was out for like 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks. Yeah. Last year he was out for the whole playoffs, and it's not his fault, but you got to win, right? And a guy who gets hurt every year is not your key to winning.
Okay. So speaking of Marshawn Lynch, before we move on to mess around, all right, I got to get your opinion. Super Bowl, first and goal or whatever against the Patriots.
That was the worst.
What do you? I mean, what was your thoughts going into that play on what they were going to do, and then tell me what your thoughts were after that.
You've got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. I mean, common sense says to pound the ball in, but instead they give it to Russell Wilson, who's a young quarterback. That was his second Super Bowl in 2 years, but he's playing the Patriots, who are a completely different team than the Broncos were the year before. And the thing is, you don't even get your best receiver to run the slant. You get some dude off the bench. Like if it was like a Doug Baldwin, or I mean, who else did they have? They had Doug Baldwin, who was one of the best receivers in the league at the time, and they throw it to some dude on the right. Like that, I've never heard of. And then like Malcolm Butler, who I mean, he's around now, obviously, just because of that play, but I had never heard of him before that. If they would hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, won the game, second Super Bowl in 2 years, and we go home. I mean, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, when that play happened, and I don't know Messer's thoughts, but I was thinking, pound it in. But if they weren't going to pound it in, I don't know why they didn't do like a play action,
right?
They
were in run commit. They were in run commit, and the only reason that he got there is because he was playing the flat, and he just reached over and picked it off. I mean,
and not to rub it in more. But I was kind of hoping after I saw that play just to kind of stick it to the coaching staff. I wish Butler would have took that to the house. Just ice out the thing.
He didn't. I would have broke something.
Yeah, I know. So, Messer, your quick thoughts on that?
Well, if you remember, I remember like after they showed the Patriots little season review thing, they knew that play was coming. They practiced against that play and practiced every day. And in practice, he didn't make that play in practice, but he did in the game. So they knew the big play was coming, and they saw it. He read it and made the play. So, but yeah, I definitely would have gone to Lynch. How can you not go to Lynch? Like beast mode. Give him some Skittles. Let him run that. So yeah, that's my take on it. He gave it to Lynch.
All right, mess around. You're the GM of the Bears. What do you do in the offseason?
Well, you could go one of two ways depending on how the season plays out. If they keep Nagy, obviously they need a new quarterback, someone that plays better than Trubisky and Foles. If they don't keep Nagy, I can see them blowing this whole thing up and start to rebuild again. Even going so far as trading Khalil Mack. But for me, if I can find any guy, I'm going to make a trade for Carson Wentz. I think you put him in a different offense, give him a line. Maybe he goes back to his form where he was probably considered the favorite for MVP that year. He got hurt that they won the Super Bowl. So I think, I'd go for Carson Wentz. That'd be my guy that we trade for.
Yeah, I can't argue there. But for the purple, I mean, like what they could do, they're kind of tight. There's a little breaking news. Zeke rolled up today. Did I hear that? I think their biggest downside this year was beating the Packers. I think going into that game, if they would have lost, they would have been blowing the sucker up quickly. A lot of Zimmer's play calling this year. I think he's costed us a few games himself. But again, he's a great coach, defensive mind, so I'm not going to sweat over it. Kirk Cousins never liked the contract from the beginning. Can't give somebody guaranteed money and expect them, it to work out. But the biggest downside, I think, for the Vikings need a consistent offensive line play. I mean, when they show up, Cousins looks phenomenal back there, and he got time. Kicker, I know probably the least important guy on the team, but the most important for the Vikings. I mean, since I can recall, 98 probably, we've had this kicker jinx. So we need to find us a stud kicker. And we need to go out and finally draft a franchise quarterback to groom down the road. This team is young. This team has some veterans. We got to make a run if we got somebody there leading us. So that's my Christmas wish for the offseason for the Vikings. So
I got a quick question for both of you because you guys are both having quarterback problems. Next year, Dak Prescott's contract is up. Would you be okay with either of your teams paying him the money he wants and him being your guy?
Gosh, I don't even know because you don't know what he's going to be like after that injury. So, I definitely think he's better than Trubisky. So I would definitely, if we could afford him, I would definitely sign him if he's available. But the thing is, Chicago doesn't have a lot of cap space, so
right.
No way we're going to.
He's going to ask for a lot. We know the Cowboys aren't going to sign him back, so he's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. If this was Cousins' last season, I'd take a flyer on Prescott for a year, maybe out there for a second. But I still say they would have to still draft a young guy in the draft to groom just in case Prescott's not the answer. But yeah, there's another guy that talked about where could Prescott go? The Bears now. Where do you think? Where
you were cutting out there. I didn't hear what you said.
Where do you go? Where else quarterback outside of Bears and Vikings? Am I cutting out again? Okay. All right, let's try this one more time. So, Prescott, where could you see him going?
You want to go ahead, Landon?
Yeah,
fix it.
So he's going to ask a lot of money, and I mean he's a good quarterback, especially for teams who need a quarterback desperately. But he's not what he wants. Does that make sense? Like he's not as good as what I don't know, thinks, or as good as he. I don't know, like money to skill kind of ratio is completely off. Like he wants so much more money than how good he is, and I don't think any team. I mean, sure, a desperate team might try to get him for a 1 year with a second-year option, but he's just he's a mess. Like I don't know how else to explain it. He wants too much money, and I guess maybe a team like Indy, like Tim said, would not be bad. For a 1 year, maybe sign Trask. Trask can be under him and then come up to start when he leaves. I don't know. We'll see. Where he'll go somewhere, and they'll have to tell him that they're not paying him any. And I was thinking the Patriots too, but they're not going to pay as much as he's wanting. I'm surprised if anybody. I'm saying Indy because they're going to be the most desperate out of any team in the league, in my opinion. Because Phillip Rivers is going to be gone. They still have Brissett, don't they?
Who, Indy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he's their backup.
So if he's still there, he's just too inconsistent to start quarterback. So, I mean, I think getting Prescott and putting Trask behind him, letting Prescott stay for a year, and Trask learn from Prescott, and then bring Trask up to start. I mean, that's what I would do if I was Indy.
All right. What do you think on that?
Well, I was thinking New England at first, but then I thought, he wants way too much money. If they were going to pay a quarterback big money, they would have kept Brady.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to the Patriots for that reason alone. I could see a team like the Niners taking a flyer on him if they let Garoppolo go. That's where I see him going. If he doesn't go back to Dallas, I think he goes to the Niners.
Yeah, again, here's another quarterback. Landon, you said it perfectly. He thinks his skill set's worth a lot, and it's not, and he wants all this money, which, some people need to take an ego check, I think, and just get what they can get, and then try somewhere else and see if they can get something better.
Hopefully, after the injury, he realizes he's going to get paid.
Yeah, that could be it too. If San Fran moves from Garoppolo, you got the Patriots, even Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville could use a one-time, 1-year guy to groom their next quarterback. Whoever that may be. So, but with that being said, anything else before we wrap up this lovely Sunday morning? Mess around, Landon. All right.
Just enjoy the games.
I think we'll move on. Exactly. So, bring up that t-shirt. Our viewers get a free t-shirt. Nice. See, I'm cutting in again.
Here, I can do it again too. All right, mess around. How do you get a free t-shirt?
You get a free t-shirt by commenting on any of our shows, and you become the viewer of the month. If you don't want to do that because you're too afraid to leave a comment or anything, you can always get a hold of one of us and buy one for $14.95 plus shipping and handling.
All right. So I hope you guys all have a great Sunday, a great Christmas. Join the network today. I believe after the morning games, we'll have a show. Nate, if I'm wrong, please correct me. And then mess around. I think we're going to see you tonight. Between the ropes, any kind of teasers you want to leave us for that show?
Definitely tune into that. We're going to cover the Raw and SmackDown as well as the TLC pay-per-view. And I believe we have a guest coming on tonight too, so look out for that.
Oh yeah, I heard the guy hails from Philly. That's what I'm hearing. So we'll throw out some more teasers. So all right, Landon, mess around. Myself, Brandon, everybody enjoy the Sunday, enjoy your Christmas, and we'll see you back here. Do we got games on Saturday next week, guys?
I'm not sure, but I'm not.
I know we got a Friday game.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I don't know.
if anything, if not, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Nate, thanks for your great work behind the scenes for us again. You guys have a good night.
Later, guys.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.